For Graham Rossiter, visiting his mother is a relatively new experience.
Hi.
Hi, how you going?
Good. Up until 3 years ago, he didn't know she existed.
You know, nearly 52 before I found out. I'm just missing all those years.
I really didn't think I'd find him. I had visions of him being adopted over east or overseas.
Jill Church gave birth to Graham in the mid-60s when she was 19. Like thousands of other unwed mothers at the time, she had little choice but to give him up for adoption straight after the birth at a Perth hospital.
I said, you know, can I go and see him? And they said, no, it's not your child anymore.
So this is me when I was about 10, Mum.
Decades later, the two started looking for each other at about the same time. Graham launched his search in his early 50s after his elderly adoptive father decided to finally tell him that he was adopted as a baby.
I was probably a bit shattered. I was just sitting there just in total disbelief.
Little did he know that his biological mother would be living just 90 minutes down the road from him in a country town south of Perth.
When Jill told me she was living in Harvey, it was just like, oh my God, you're so close. And I drive through there all the time for work.
Peter Capamola-Moore from regional New South Wales can empathise. He was 59 when he found out.
I think the governments have a duty of care to adoptees to notify them of their adoptive status in a controlled and supportive environment. Not by finding out by DNA, not by finding out by a disgruntled adopted sibling who blurts it out in the middle of a heated argument.
State adoption laws to varying degrees now recognise children's rights. But Mr Capamola-Moore, who heads up a support group, says it's not uncommon for people adopted under the forced adoption era to find out late, which could deny them essential family medical history.
People deserve to know. It's a human right.
You are taken from my arms.
It's been nearly a decade since the national apology to survivors of forced adoption, but adoptees say laws around the country still discriminate against them. They want changes, including redress for adopted people and free and simple procedures for accessing documents and reclaiming their original identities. They've got some support from a law expert who was closely involved in the apology.
To a significant degree, the adoptees are together with the adoptive parents, I might say, the forgotten people in forced adoption. And I think the sooner we cure that, the sooner we will make significant advances in this field.
He says it would help if adoption was streamlined to become a Commonwealth responsibility. In the meantime, Graham and his family are just trying to make up for the missing years. Claire Moody, ABC News.